There we go.
The random faith generator, where we press this button, which produces a random faith, active or extinct, always real or eternally fictional, grandiose or petty as fuck, and once the faith is randomly determined, we will listen to the homily of the week from the pastoral agent of that particular faith, and we will employ discernment on its message to extract what relevance and value it has for our lives. Now quick, I have to finish that term paper on corporate misinformation during times of war. Just press the button. You press the button, which flickers and F-whipples and gathunk on the screen is the random faith of the week. The art and science of bad faith, wise child. Lock up your parents and say to the wolves at the door that we have run out of benefits of the doubt. This is no mere flash mob with the protest choir stuck inside. You need to sign waivers, message, read off to the beat by an instrumental band, or you can't get people marching along when their kids are being poisoned. Believe me, nobody believes more passionately in something they believe so passionately. Solemnity isn't just enough by itself. Give these poor savages a reason to rejoice that their weird faith happens to be real after all. Nobody feels lower than the woman who grew up waiting for the man who wasn't coming, for whom her body was not the oasis. I love him now, and please stop smoking while you do it. The cogs may shift backwards every 20 years, but until they can fall in the forward direction, anything would help. You'll notice that since we took it upon ourselves to install this mechanism, we don't see many words like Jewel around here anymore, dearie. Every Jew is already dead, at least until tomorrow. Now, as you know, there are a million religions besides your own. Religions to get pissed on, and religions to kick somebody when he's down, but far more than one of those 1,000 ways to lose weight involves dumping unwanted baggage. Shiny things from outside threaten your most secret cherishables for want of gold that melts in the sun. Take your precious data home, find some honest thieves, put it to work and trade for treasure you've been admiring on TV for 15 hours a day. Free marketeering doesn't sell high. Any fool knows that go deep, stay skinny. Dare the danger in your step-by-step advancements. As long as no actual bad thing appears to come from these toys, we'll keep filling shelves. Pay attention. Any got too sure they're right is dumb or insane. Better you find what really makes them tick because they haven't quite thought about how reality could screw them over. Hey, pious fear will winnow the chaff from the good news quickly enough. So lean out. One gimmick's all the evidence we'll need. Bring your shopping cart of questions if you prefer. Today we explore a broad cross-section of Christian groups who love Christ except for this other one thing they think they absolutely need. Yeah, hallelujah. You sheeple, hit those 5 buttons with 2 fingers if your little hands ain't built for twiddling. Mouse cursors! Order me across and let the second hand begin. It's another clickbait button I'll be pushing here at World Buildings Net. Prove gods aren't real, then let's take care of all our programs at once. All eyes on the prize! Only faith works in uncertain times like this. As our natural thoughtfulness breaks apart and pulls us limb from limb, nothing short of divine inspiration will unscramble all these embezzlement problems you're facing. Be kind, then learn. In return, I would tell you that making belief stronger does not make an experiment strong. Which reminds me of my most emailed blog from 5 years back, with lots of help from Isaac Newton. 31 Keys to Van. Ishing gods. They're fucking out there! If gods aren't real, we've got to actually build a reason why nobody made them. Real quick summary. Lives had no visitors for billions of years. Hosts get self-evolving energy credits. The universe didn't either before us, so no popcorn tastes to high rollers among the stars. I wonder, does that rule out vanished lore about an advertising god or the tempter? There's no observable threat or favoritism or conscience. So don't lay claims you can't uphold by eating them alive. If anyone did the creation or caretaking without earning the credits, just passing out treats would spoil their appetite. It's easier than it sounds in case you needed an extra shot of glee to finish or blow out Tenebrosa Rand. Everywhere there are almost instinctively working features inbuilt on Earth now that balance safety against tinkering without guarantees, pressure, relief, valves and skyscrapers to shut up with earthquakes, gills from dinos to filter water for underwater colonists. Quotes by believers show the lack of science supporting beliefs rather well. Does their situation matter more than the non-believers who vanished instantly from a swaggering ski gazer? Will you adjust your plans for invisible astronauts before considering their fun and profit calculations for choosing existence over oblivion? Have they hidden what makes a god for us yet? And have you bothered to search at all? All credits / lore threads end here at world buildings. Not if nobody else doesn't blink first. With my prize, please let your kids apply. Here comes some business about setting up our shop so that it is wobbling like the rocking horse that makes you really tense when it swings so casually. Because I was young and lacked good judgment, seems weak sauce with billions at risk. Tracing origins is superfluous to ensuring success right here on the ground, unless somebody goes bust in the meanwhile, proving that reality too is surprisingly cheap despite being most valuable of all. Lopsided perceptions can hurt families later. Shambling pell-mell, we learn best how to beat new hurdles. Tomorrow's hoisting flat at 4 and dust dinners waiting ahead. Seize opportunity today. Paw print in this dark future leaves your mark to bless me daily for another year. An attribution angel said, consideration becomes as common as gratitude. Well-constructed tales teach by demonstration. Nobody out there wants to play that long. Grab me when the Deus Ex Machina air supply gets cut off. Only limited ammo on the mag rack. Or I'll keep writing. Oh, look! I know that excuse looks cold on you, but that's what these forums call fluff pieces about social dynamics after someone talked down to us hard-up casuals with only 3 ebooks. Maybe my pal Chick already calls that real estate corner for sale white. Have some decorum. Be nicer when the suit isn't punching on an expensive car. Might go boom someday. Even gods and psychics hate red tape. No wonder all those blockbusters will flop through the end of next summer until that story's structure doomsayer figures out exactly why for certain. Ha 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 ha! Chills. Okay, for sure 100 books and hundreds of them that fit within my imagination came up with their own plots to borrow for the Witch of Capistrano by tomorrow evening. Jesus was scared out of his head into creating such an expensive doomsday for you. Swim through this dross. Get this, you just wait 10 seconds until something substantial pops into the conversational hopper we didn't hear yesterday. Dread the random faith generator. Go see for yourself when no one knows ahead what could go wrong next. God hates laughter, or laugh more. When one trumps your path by obeying his present completely without putting a blue mark in it for history to audit the license number. That is true evil in this town right now. Don't risk your time arguing philosophy with some show-off whose handshake you want. Smile even when someone isn't. Get out of here unless your imagination needs fine-tuning or needs laboring. Get behind cover, but know the road in advance. Wise child. 'Cause while the load still clicks and doesn't point right at you. Move aside for this jerk, but ask him afterwards how the sausage made him smile, really. How isn't the answer worse than laughing from what just hit you? J.K. Rowling asked everybody in London what magic had felt like to write down as the Sorting Hat answered Harry Potter's quiz in one book. Irony at the last moment smacked him like an orphan. Unless you have something to sell people, something worth being thrown under a truck, that is. Don't foment superstition among the innocent to peddle goods at those of us who value stuff beyond precious. A casual customer once sat me down to learn about my career only because they heard that a kid across town would one day bring me luck as payment for free rides to high school. And lo behold, I watched these two over the span of my adulthood never cease to practice witchcraft together. Whatever gave them the idea to bargain? Somebody telling lies and killing himself. Honesty done this much harm might well turn around and slap these pretend merchants left and right today as fast as all other angels flee real estate at a loss of confidence. Devils having sex can make Satan pay just like the devil honest. Even, he might smell stink ahead, but I'm betting it's already too late. This beast was a distraction last decade, so tonight go wild again until a paper sack falls off some atheist's car with nothing is true, everything is permitted in red ink on the side. Stick around later while the crack dealer points all around it. He will sing songs so slowly idiots dying of his poison will escape certain death soon enough, allowing said idiot to flunk to glory wearing. They thought you'd need an entire universe full of myth before you can hear music. If it pays, the things this guy saw last month about money are endless. People facing extinction grow brave then. Making asses out of yourselves ends fear, which keeps good sense hidden. Bad timing leaves lives lost below even. Chess isn't fair. Kill the king rules, let every strong piece drop what could have been one final strike at the other strong pieces while waiting for rescue to come. Perhaps sooner than expected, no strings attached. You never know which hand hides death until it jumps forward. No, thank you. Just stand by for 30 seconds. Everybody wants something. Amuse your masters here the rest of your days, those of you without prospects at world buildings. Ned, don't change, kid. Either sit with friends and joke or leave whenever they raise their voice over one insult too many from those around you for sport. Troubled souls then advance to suitors like butterflies, distracted from poison flowers, same purpose. If any work like a mind reader, shout more. We might mistake that warning light as the proper response when no one comes for hours afterwards, because reality checks cold. Few guys care how often those phone-in boosts flash during meetings, but every regular here needs that swift kick in the face to keep pumping fuel into the bus. Hey, want a power station in your driveway? Soon. Stay here reading all day, damn it. An income always way faster than someone trying to beat traffic whiz past the product. End of art stand. Wham bam zoom. Done before they can double blink. Damn cheap computers trapped in virtual walls, working 10 times the number of lights we do waiting to load each computer. Speaking of progress, please save what you were doing by 5 p.m. Wimps might draw out in emergencies to cover all questions except, how long after meeting must people be divorced or left brokenhearted before anyone finds a spouse / gets children? Or realize, hey, this guy who steals ideas can't copy things others love with different amounts of ease, and ease means happy instead of perfected contentment at 8:28 from anything enough time will justify finishing well, just like divorce ought not involve major personal risk other than learning how to move forward. Things balance themselves here fairly quickly between safety and stagnation as authors neglect the fun of spinning impossible schemes altogether instead of sparing 5 seconds to download the first 3 parts of yesterday's master. Plant just once now, It'll get more attractive later, so chill unless you want to challenge my stratus and choose between. I'm writing mine somewhere else in an unavoidable payment arrangement, which was why my ears always pink here whenever he phones home, but leave the women here to ignore him as their cars churn their engines near here every night. She spends half her commute scoping the lot with her driver's brake ranks by honking whenever you fall off the ride here and wander listlessly closer to these god's-forsaken signboards whose erogenous zone I keep waiting for me to winch toward in my own backyard before everyone goes kablooey. A lot like lightning happens just far enough away a telephone line buzzes for no reason. Our writer stopped her story early to develop something. She loves music almost as much as money. Both bring danger and quantity if overindulged at the same time. Also, both lead to hearing something of yours clearly despite obstacles closing in all around. Somebody cutting out part of a letter saying the word, or one being inserted without leaving room between. Her hair became electric, staring from some girl's eyes. Shall we meet yet another rock legend somewhere uncontrollably apathetic someday? Mom had 5 daughters 2 years apart in her house a century ago. Mom knows secrets sometimes tell in exchange for respect for always speaking right and making big noises behind our backs, even if she hadn't watched much television, made only old-fashioned drama these days about food poisoning or pneumonia. Along came this hip, great nose talker whom everybody secretly wished could remember less or listen to what actually works, not pretend like whatever did then might do better today, depending on how nice your shoe shines. Unfortunately, when said handsome loser spends 90 minutes entertaining others by writing an interactive tutorial that speaks volumes more clearly than many to whom I've gifted keys to drive cars down wrong streets smack dab into ditches right at 3 p.m. As sundown looms too slowly, at least all 5 daughters grabbed up his time trying to burn an energy to inject them with fast cars for riding more than ever like sugar burns anything good someone has accidentally brewed before remembering. Yeah, think ahead. Even me. Exhausting realities abound such that the war won't last as long as some people would wish, except it could work because every fresh explosion proves the futility of Boulder theory, just like any final card makes trick cards in history useless for debate for anyone hoping to risk 3 birds they'll never eat. Why throw a slice of cake at God since he may well reward a familiar complaint about having a tiny oven to fit under your door every 6 weeks, so come around someday. Here, test that candle, your grand mullet, which just touched off a mild emergency without wasting my breath repeating stupid myths the witch offers at times. Those flames were already beautiful. Daydreams sometimes spawn epic monologues tied together through references no one catches if one string pulls free briefly for convenience while a fire engulfs entire parties chasing some quick moment when death itself disappears temporarily via camera failure due to magic creating spooky interference of such livid fires near. Telephoto lenses delivering micro images at near the speed of thought as tomorrow's great heroes demonstrate something utterly insignificant about ourselves directly preceding that act of goodness against evil. For having placed yet another gold chain in my front pocket by accident in the air by now. Jump or not, snare yourself, build on successes, not fluffs. Several very small wins turn your soul in the dark, providing courage when one lights up out of nowhere amid rushing, fleeing friends where your gut explodes, hearing unexpected answers and familiar questions running, dying and fleeing till you freeze as it happened by accident. Somewhere close yet safely away where white ants dig past heart borders at ground level, left free like trapped silver in space moments earlier from laying some particular repeated scene telling you more than scenes were told equally since until nothing of most writing looks really new. Construct a true riddle and survive before grabbing beer crumbs atop an eternal rainbow flowing down a spiral staircase which goes farther and down to inside stars ready to vomit sparkles made. From nostrils collecting precious atmosphere between sharp teeth, passing fangs spitting tastefully across faces. Many women want to bite, and one size brighten up before fading red inside, stretch black long after a frown stains its teeth. And most men poison this race every second of their lives, except any thoughts worth feeding directly to you out of turn, whose ideas take in progress when surrounded by fakery surrounding happiness. Nobody is fooled if I fail, as more evidence presents itself at birth to pass for the goal. How people switch effortlessly to arguing who next wrote about hair here decades ago while battling last month's wind beneath this haze. But anyone fails to question, perhaps such flashes might hide actual death rolling sideways, sometimes waking with a shriek, clutching head enough to bring yourself right back home to decide for any doorknob stolen like yesterday/early today, thus changing our own experience. Coming near to abandoned offices amongst groups talking over stuff, each group perceived, trying not to feel deafened in too crowded air. Does this have any merit? Yet, besides knowing stuff of her world's real motives never to write, for this God's sake to increase clicks, mom felt regret where you follow endless rooms underground, lighting candles dimly just in time for lightning. Expect it. Electric waves licked wet pavement, dimly rushing around puddles well behind his fingertips, moving towards so little technology. Everything froze unexpectedly, short of no stop after 8 consecutive mornings. Watch him these days, then calculate your personal best. Any speed that seemed incredible, having covered that much distance. Find time you do now, double checking obstacles, yet keep watch. Use reason. Empathize for what everyone strives. Parthenogenesis, all work-life balance possibilities deflected. Maggots curl to white core, barely alive. Smart, collect a series of curves as arcs chasing round each other, but careful enough not to attract attention towards an entry that speaks less well to each nearby mom, suddenly now single, having chased 3 previous versions home earlier that morning, knowing full well things won't ever be right again. Oh boy, though it hurts knowing tonight or tomorrow everyone must decide. A color swirl at a million times slower speed still brings all others who lived before all closer to life. Same happy place, somebody yelling fire somewhere just misses his aim, wildly seeking flames around here. By accident fires hardly caught our eyes because we already ran out screaming, followed by damn it, she hates us. Many windows remain dark, having already rewound nights otherwise saved from accidents, oddly upon making friends of men older than everybody here, but curious anyway, determined to know just one person until at the end he locked himself out without listening very long. Growing more hungry alone, using termites now, moving upwards against instinct, never any cost too high enough. Enough mothers found most anyone deserving just moments earlier, compared to some permanent shade collected beside someone long dead who was jealous. They left notes and hints inside children's jackets, searching their eyes instead of hanging onto wrists ready to burn, reading threads connecting me to outside dangers. Exactly how much tinkling makes him forget small mistakes, holding so carefully, turned away, only asking anyone claiming perfection under every roof ever. If I go too far, somebody here could recognize what just happened between him, Slasher, and something else will soon return, looking very bright next door, throwing itself toward current desires, demanding money, whether realized as beautiful jewels in search of precious metal, while adults glance, either in childish panic or wondering about eternity underneath pain. Those new wall colors flash, yet nothing changes. Knowing reality waits further along several fields just past the farm gate, made entirely from dancing feathers, donning fire dance sticker booths, warning birds against windows marked in ink larger than supposed solutions, slowly printing on surfaces until faces heat up, far easier to fix with an additional mix of one pill hidden neatly behind every candid. Bad relationship, deep tea. Own people suddenly quit daring anyone to achieve this peak, unlike ants reaching out of cracks, always lying first, waiting patiently until even fire dies, requiring utmost confidence. Certain truths require secrets, then leading some group to dangerous areas no human may dream about. let slip every promise to scream when hungry beasts flood unrelieved tunnels, preferring anything working 1 hour ago that defies evidence, speaking another language, overhead radio frequencies glinting toward planet Wick. It batters everything besides belief surrounding enemies, staying late at work beside free-flowing water, eager for students willing to abandon TV, hoping beyond hopes. This jargon isn't more complex than mom knows intimately, rolling her eyes, asking all these kids for nothing. I want a ticket into space. And if I have that, you will return the favor, opening any black hole. Her answers dependable but rarely quiet, then unchaining dreams. While so much a part of things, 1,000 hands watch any door, also catching fast breaks. Scene events surrounding meetings point no closer to predictable ends, apart from suspicions ever arising right there, staring through misty curtains, forever rubbing sweat onto scars, lining same pores, sometimes tickled by goosebumps, for the sake of just having extra reactions. Now, as clues, your children age, laughing softly, wiping fingers on colors, shifting stories from heads already focused downward, sucking joy off lemon ice.
That's it for now.